Hey everybody, welcome back to the Light Side Reaction Reviews. The brand new trailer for Brand New Day, the new Spider-Man movie just dropped, and so we're going to go ahead and check it out today. I'll just go ahead and give you a quick introduction. Brand New Day is, I assume it's going to be adapted very closely to the comic book series that was maybe 10, 15 years ago it came out. I remember it was right after Civil War. And then they had, what was it right before Brand New Day? It was One More Day, was the events where, spoiler alert, if you haven't read the comics, I don't know if they're going to adapt. Well, they kind of already adapted this into the MCU. But in the comic book version of One More Day, at the end of Civil War, which was different from the MCU version, the comic book versions was completely different. There were certain elements that remained the same, but overall, there were a lot of changes they made in the MCU version. But anyway, at the end of Civil War, going into the arc in the Spider-Man comics called One More Day, Aunt May was killed. And so Spider-Man makes a deal with Mephisto, and that makes me wonder if Mephisto is going to be back in this, but I don't think it is because of the way they've already treated it in No Way Home. But Mephisto is this sort of demonic-like creature, villain, that made a deal with Spider-Man that he would bring Aunt May back to life if Spider-Man would give up his marriage to Mary Jane. And, of course, in the comic books, they're older. They're not the teenagers in high school that they are in the MCU. And so, in fact, in the comics, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, was long out of high school before he even met Mary Jane. When he was in high school, he was dating Gwen Stacy. But anyway, he makes the deal. So Mephisto erases Mary Jane's memory so that she doesn't remember who Peter Parker is, her own husband. And so he has to go on through the rest of history, the rest of his life, without her even knowing who he is. And that's where Brand New Day picks up where that lays off at the end of One More Day. In the MCU, of course, if you've seen No Way Home, the villain isn't Mephisto, but it's, what's his name? I'm trying to think. The guy with the glass helmet on. Daggone, I know his name, I can't think of. But anyway, comment down below, correct me, let me know what his name is. But anyway, the villain is different in the MCU version, and Spider-Man's memory is erased not because he makes a deal with Mephisto, but because he goes back with Doctor Strange and changes everybody's memories, not just her memory, but everybody's memories, erasing himself entirely from the MCU, basically. And so that's where we pick up with in the MCU version of Brand New Day. So I'm assuming that Mephisto probably won't even be in this because he would have been the catalyst for him losing his everybody losing the memory of him in the first place if they were going to introduce him as a character into this. So we're going into this not knowing anything about the direction they're going to take. Obviously, it's going to pick up where they left off in No Way Home, where everybody's forgotten him, nobody knows who he is. But the direction they take it from there and how they resolve that, no clue. So let's go ahead and check out this trailer. This is our first glimpse of Brand New Day, to where we're going to find out exactly how this is going to work. And here we go.
I can't believe our first day at MIT. MJ.
What?
Pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever...
Rewind.
I can't believe our first day at MIT. MJ.
What's he saying? Let's try it again. This is not good. The very first line of a trailer and you can't tell what he's saying.
I can't believe our first day at MIT. MJ.
I can't believe our first day on my team. I'm going to turn on the subtitles here.
I can't believe our first day at MIT.
Oh, I couldn't even tell it was Ned speaking. They put in the captions there, it's Ned speaking. Can't believe our first day at MIT. All right, so I thought that was Spider-Man doing a voiceover. That was Peter Parker. All right.
Come on, pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
I can't.
I knew it.
Oh, okay. So he sees what. Well, how did? Wait. Hold on. Pause. Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Is he eavesdropping on them? I just going to ask, how is he having access to their private conversation that they're having? It's not like maybe they posted on social media and he's seeing this on their social media or something. Or maybe as Spider-Man, he's got some kind of tracking devices. He's spying on them secretly. His old friends. This is obviously hurting him. You know, best day of her life is without him. And so, and Ned also, you know, Ned was his best friend. Best day of their lives. And it doesn't include Peter Parker. That's got to break his heart. All right, let's go back to the very beginning and start this over again. Now we got the context.
I can't believe our first day at MIT. MJ, come on. Pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
I can't.
I knew it.
Yeah, he's not happy.
Hi, my name is Peter.
That was interesting. It showed him inside his mask.
You don't remember me, but we used
You don't
to
see
know
that
each other.
perspective very often.
Something bad was going to happen, and the only way to stop it was to make everyone forget about me.
Okay, his monologue, he's not actually
Because
saying
I'm
this to
not just
Ned.
Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man. The hell, Frank? You just hit me with a van! Put your footprint.
Frank. Oh, it's the Punisher! Frank Castle, cool. It's good to see Punisher in this. And it's the same actor, John Bernthal. Punisher from the movie.
Spider-Man has to do the hard thing, even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart. What is happening to me?
Oh, the mutation. They're doing that storyline.
Excuse me, Dr. Banner. I need your help.
Oh!
Say your name was?
Oh, and he doesn't remember me either, of course.
If DNA is mutating, it would be enormously dangerous. Spiders have 3 life cycles. When between cycles, it can leave the spider vulnerable to threats.
We are faced with a danger that we can't control.
3 life cycles.
Stay out of my way.
You're losing it, kid. And for those spiders who make it through, it amounts to a kind of
Oh. Slow motion with the ninjas.
Nice flowers.
Oh, they're a housewarming gift.
I'm MJ,
I'm just a neighbor from across the hall.
friendly neighbor.
Because friendly neighborhood Spider-Man choked on his milk or whatever he was drinking there. All right, so this is interesting. I'm turning down the volume. I'm going to go ahead and scroll back and go through this. Okay, what do we figure out from this? Okay, first of all, he's sitting on the roof, hisses away. A lot of the trailers for the Spider-Man movies have been. They've started out with that. And historically, we've seen in some of the trailers, they've done scenes that were just for the trailers only, that weren't in the comics, or weren't in the movies, and weren't even part of the storyline. So they're redacted. It's like non-canon. It didn't actually happen. And so I'm wondering if this is actually going to be the same thing. They're not going to include this in the movie. But it's setting the pace, setting the scenery, and letting us know what's come before. A lot of this narration in here may not happen in the movie, so we got to understand that going right into it. But it's setting the story, reminding us of what happened before for newcomers to the movie. Okay, so he's watching Ned and MJ, and he's not happy. He puts on his mask, dives off in that iconic sort of dive. Now there where he's diving, and it shows his mask inside, kind of like the Iron Man sort of perspective, where we've seen Iron Man inside his helmet, like that. We've never seen Spider-Man's face inside his mask before, so that's kind of interesting to see that perspective here. So a little bit of creativity from the director here that's kind of neat. Okay, and then he's sitting in a diner, and he sees Gwen or MJ and Ned, and they're going on with their life without him. He dives into action and gets hit by a truck driven by the Punisher. Now, he calls him by his first name, and they're having this sort of thing back and forth where it seems like they know each other on a personal level. So this is really introducing Punisher into the MCU. We've already seen him, of course, in the TV series, but haven't actually seen him in the movies yet. So this is cool. I like the idea they're bringing it in here, and I like that they're using the actor, John Bernthal. Those of you that are fans of The Walking Dead, he was Shane in season 1 and 2, I believe. The first 2 seasons is all he lasted in that. But very iconic character in that. And then he was the Punisher in the TV series Punisher. And now he's back as Frank Castle, the Punisher here. And he's got some sort of a relationship with Peter Parker, the new Spider-Man, or at least new to this world. We're familiar with him, of course, but to the rest of the world, he's brand new. So it's going to be interesting to see how he meets up with the Punisher, and they end up becoming friends. Maybe Spider-Man almost takes on a new persona that really attracts the Punisher. Maybe he, dealing with all this trauma, becomes some sort of, he's always been sort of a vigilante sort of thing, but maybe he becomes a little bit edgier. And so he shoots his web over his mouth to stop him from swearing. Now here it shows he sees MJ and Flash in this romantic moment where Flash is brushing back her hair. I don't know how I feel about that. I can't picture MJ and Flash getting together. They never really showed any interest in each other. At least she didn't show any interest in him at the in the earlier movies, but maybe that's because she really had Peter there that she was attracted to under the surface. Maybe she didn't realize that she was attracted to him, but that was why she never got in a relationship with Flash, because subliminally she was attracted to Peter. But without her memory of Peter, I don't know. I just don't feel that's right for her character to be attracted to somebody with a personality like Flash had. But then again, without Peter's impact on her life, maybe it affected her personality too. Maybe some of the reasons why her personality was the way it was is because of the way Peter impacted her life. So we'll see how that feels when it comes to the movie. Right now, I'm not thrilled with it. Then they show him kind of mutating with the webs and everything. That's a storyline that was actually from the comics as well. And they had the mutant Spider-Men. It was a whole big story arc with them in it. And then he meets Dr. Banner. For the first time, Dr. Banner meeting him, although obviously they knew each other in a previous life. There it shows him at somebody's grave. Let me go back for a second. Whose grave was that? So he goes to Dr. Banner for help. Just like Banner in the newest Hulk movie, he went to, well, actually, going back to the first Hulk movie in the MCU, he went to Mr. Blue for help. Remember Mr. Blue? And Hulk was Mr. Green. And then in the newest, I'm not going to do a spoiler alert here, but in the newest Hulk movie, Mr. Blue comes back. And I'm not going to go into more detail in case you haven't seen that yet. But just like Hulk went to Mr. Blue for help, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, is going to Hulk for help with his scientific problem. And who did you say your name was? He doesn't recognize him. Okay, if DNA is mutating, it would be extremely dangerous. Bust through the tower. Okay, now there's a grave. I couldn't see the name on the grave because of the darkness there. Maybe that's just the lighting on my screen. But I assume it's probably Aunt May. Because, spoiler alert again, in the previous movie, Aunt May was killed. Sorry for the spoiler alert there. Okay, then in case you haven't seen it. Okay, now he's fighting some different villains here. That guy in the office looks familiar. And the guy with the big metal suit looks familiar too. He looked like he might be one of the side characters that he encountered when dealing with Michael Keaton's character. I can't remember. The Vulture. One of the Vulture's henchmen. Then now he's got these ninjas that he's dealing with. Reminds me of the ninjas from, was it Shang-Chi? Where it had all the ninjas in it. That had all the iconic slow motion type battle scenes and stuff. Kind of reminds me of that. Then that last scene there, the kind of humorous thing where they throw in the cheap humor. That humor really there doesn't really land with me that they use in this trailer. Hopefully they kind of nail that down a little bit better for the movie itself. A lot of times they'll go through and the trailer, certain scenes will hit and miss with audiences, and they will kind of adapt the movie itself based on audience reactions. So that joke kind of fell a little bit flat with me there a little bit. But it is what it is. The trailer looks interesting. It sets the scene really well. It reminds us of what happened before and gives us a little glimpse into the larger plot. It introduces the characters to us, the villains in the storyline. I like that they like I said, they've got the Punisher in here. He's going to be a major character in this film, and maybe this will lead to a Punisher film in the MCU, get his own standalone film. I know there's been previous Punisher films with different actors over the years, but those aren't technically part of the MCU. They're standalone Sony films, so those don't count. So maybe this is their way of introducing him. They're bringing back the Hulk, so I like they're getting the legacy characters and bringing them back, and not dwelling on some of the newer characters that they introduced, trying to reboot the MCU. It looks like they're, at least for this film, going back to the formula that made the MCU a success, with the characters and the plot storyline type of direction that made it work, and audiences have loved for decades, literally decades now since the MCU kicked off. And so I'm optimistic. The Spider-Man movies in the MCU, Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home, I think is what they were. I don't sound right. But anyway, the three that they had so far, and then now this one, they were kind of hit and miss on certain things. There were little elements that I didn't like, and there were some elements that I really loved. And so I think this is going to be the same thing. There's going to be parts of this, unless they completely change it from a lot of the things that I've seen in here. There's going to be parts of the movie that I enjoy, and there's going to be little things in it that really kind of just don't really land solid with me. Not that they're necessarily bad plot lines and bad ideas, but just the delivery on some of this, like that first line with Ned, the delivery was very poorly. It just wasn't very clear audibly, and so that really affected the delivery of that line, especially being the first line in the trailer. And that last line they showed with Mary Jane, he spit up his drink. I get it. It's kind of like a dad joke. It's like you hear the joke and you go, "Oh man, that's so lame." It just felt lame. It didn't land. But anyway, that's my thoughts. It does look interesting. I am going to see it, obviously, especially since they do seem to be going back to the formula that I really enjoyed about the MCU, and looks like, at least for this movie, they're abandoning that new direction they were taking. And I'm definitely looking forward to Doomsday to see how they take the new direction of the MCU in this new phase, so to speak. And so, yeah, it definitely looks interesting. So anyway, go ahead and comment down below. What do you think? And that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed my reaction, hit the like button, comment down below with your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and turn on notifications so you know whenever we add new content. My main show that I have on this channel right now is the Lightside Music Reactions. We drop an episode every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. I react to some of you guys' favorite requests of songs, music, and musical artists. So check out that playlist and send me all your requests. And every once in a while I'll drop an episode of this, the Lightside Reaction Reviews, where we react to movie trailers and TV shows and stuff like that. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Everybody have a great brand new day. Bye, everybody.